Perhaps you don't think I'm good enough, romantic enough. I want you to know that I was in love with you. I loved you. I'm still in love with you. I always will be. Remember that. You don't think I'm good enough, romantic enough. I want you to know that I was in love with you. I loved you. I'm still in love with you. I always will be. Remember that. You don't think I'm good enough, romantic enough. I want you to know that I was in love with you. I loved you. I'm still in love with you. I always will be. Remember that.
Surely there's no significance in the fact that a lady has changed her mind.
I don't understand it, Ellen. I always knew you'd never marry me while your father was alive. But after he died, I thought there might be a chance.
I'm in love. We intend to get married at once. Tomorrow. Don't look so downcast.
Perhaps you don't think I'm good enough, or romantic enough. I want you to know that I was in love with you. I loved you. I'm still in love with you. I always will be. Remember that.
Is that a threat?
I loved you. And I'm still in love with you. I always will be. Remember that.
Greetings! Welcome to the stream. It feels like it's been a long time since last week. Is that just me? It feels like the space between Wednesday and today just felt a bit longer. That could just be me though. Hello, welcome. Where is thine face? Here it is. Surprise. Yeah, it's felt like it's been a very long time since we did the Shipton stream last week. Not quite sure what the deal is there, but I do think it might be the time of year, or it's been an extremely long weekend. Well, that too, right? That might be another aspect to it. But hello everybody. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming along. It's yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this. I'm excited to kind of try something new, try a new idea, and I've kind of got a vague idea of what I want to do tonight, but it's kind of it's meant to be a sort of collagey thing, and I've got a few different things I want to pull from. But yeah, it's wonderful to see so many people in chat. Nimsy, hello. Just finished watching an Outer Wilds playthrough and crying my eyes out. What a great game! Everybody should play. So I always get Outer Wilds confused with Outer Worlds, because I feel like they came out round about the same time. I think Outer Worlds is the one I've played. It's sort of it's made by Obsidian, the studio behind New Vegas, and it's very similar vibes to New Vegas. That's not the same game. Yeah, no, but I think that's the one I've played. And Outer Wilds is the one everyone keeps telling me to play, because everyone says I really love the music for it. I'm Sassy Catastrophe, hello. I'm hyperfixated on Hades at the moment. I do love Hades. It's a very, very, very good game. Hello, Karara Kunzite, good to see you. Don't look anything up about it, just play. It's a space exploration game, but I guess it's so much more than that. Amazing. Kieran Hingston, hello. Nimsy, I'm scared to play Hades because people say it's hard. I mean, it kind of is, but like Sassy says, like it's one of those games that are just like, oh, I'll give that another go. It does that wonderful roguelike gameplay loop where you kind of you go through, you die, and you're kind of like you don't really feel bad about it because you're just like, oh, right, well, I'll do better next time. It's great. It's good. Ollie, hello, welcome. Wilds is banjo. Yes, yeah. I know the banjo plays a big part in the Outer Wilds. But yeah, cool. Well, that's wonderful to hear. When I have some time, maybe. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm in between games right now, but like I think I'm definitely back in the stage where I'm kind of I'm definitely in the space of like I'm playing more games again, which feels nice. Like I'm sort of, it only took me an entire year, but I think I'm finally developing some sort of work-life balance and actually taking time to not do things. That being said, starting a new job this week. Starting a new freelance gig this week, which is very exciting. It's a really, really cool project, but the problem is it's also a very big project. So I'm gonna figure that out. It feels really strange to be at this stage of the year and starting something new. It feels off somehow. Meadow Sweet Magic, hello, welcome in. What is the bev of choice for tonight's time zone? Well, so I've got decaf tea for me tonight. I'm kind of I was not kind to my body last week. So last week, because I was very tired from the stream, and also my partner was really busy, we did not eat well at all. But that we're fixing that tonight. I made a big batch of noodles tonight, lots of vegetables. That's great. Blame Amber for me buying lots of Iron Brew. I am really glad you enjoyed your time in Glasgow. Like I'm glad you had such a good time. I'm glad we have converted another person to Glasgow. Diet supermarket cola from a pickle jar. That's kind of classy in a weird way. I've drunk quite a few drinks out of jars before, the mason jars, and it's a nice feeling. Enrich Cat Possum, hello. I was made for Scottish cuisine. I mean, I think cuisine's maybe over. I was made for Scottish cuisine. Just on that note. So when Meadow Sweet and Magic was visiting last week, I introduced them to the half pizza crunch, which I thought was a universal thing, but apparently, so a half pizza crunch is a deep fried and battered half pizza. It's one of my favorite things. It's perfect for this time of year, and everybody who like you look at it, you hear about it. So I know that you dear people are people of taste and are cultured and have good taste in food, and I know that some of you are hearing about a deep fried. How is this different from a calzone? So it's a half pizza. Take a pizza, cut it in half. You get half of it. You throw it in the deep fat fryer, so it gets coated in the batter, and like a half circle. Yeah. So it's not folded. It's literally just half a pizza thrown in a deep fat fryer, so it comes out deep fried and covered in batter, and then you have it with chips. So it sounds awful, and it looks nasty. It's one of the most beigest looking foods you can possibly imagine, but it tastes incredible. If there's one thing we do well in Scotland, it's food that it does not look good and is not good for you, but oh my goodness. We like our carbohydrates like our female characters. Complex. It is the king of cuisine. So you batter it first. Yes, you throw it in the deep fryer. It was great. So are we talking about a haggis or deep fried pizza? I had a deep fried haggis yesterday for dinner. That was a mistake. It's called crunch pizza. It's called a pizza crunch. I'm reliably informed it is a Scottish or a Scottish or a Glaswegian specifically delicacy. Somewhere local to me does deep fried lasagna. I've tried deep fried sushi. Ooh, deep fried sushi could be interesting. But sushi you normally have cold, right? A deep fried haggis pizza. I mean, you could. We'll deep fry anything over here, apparently. Red Dead Zombie, thank you so much for the follow. I'm glad this discussion is what spurred you to follow. Deep fried sushi is very good, especially the ones with the cream cheese. So is it like what kind of sushi is it? Is it like, because in my brain sushi's cold, right? That's usually the cooked fish options. Right, okay, that makes sense. Because I'm trying to imagine. Well, like spicy tuna. Okay, that does actually make more sense. Okay, fair enough. So just on the topic of sushi, this is a very we will start stuff soon, I promise. Like a California roll deep fried. You see, I'm not sure about that. Because I'm so used to having sushi cold, like having it hot. Then again, also I'm vegetarian as well, so I don't eat fish. So I'm not sure that no music, only batter. I think somebody said you can get iron brew in the States. That's amazing. I had no idea. So apparently, I don't know if this is true. I don't know if this is still true, but apparently, Scotland is one of 2 countries in the world where Coca-Cola is not the best-selling soft drink, which is delightful to me because of our glorious made from Gerda's soft drink iron brew. Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. So, something a TV show I've been watching. So, because I've been trying new things to like switch off and to not think about work, and I've been watching this show called Midnight Diner. It's sometimes called Tokyo Stories Midnight Diner. Either everyone, like, we're gonna have 2 or 3 people be like, oh yes, I know that show, or nobody's gonna have heard of it. It's on Netflix. It's a Japanese show. It's about this. It's about this guy who runs a diner, a late night diner in Tokyo that's open from midnight till 7 o'clock, and each episode is like just kind of the stories about the myriad people that come in. Sazaraz too, hello. But the thing about this show that I really love is that it gives you cool recipes. So this evening, today, for lunch, I had rice and butter, and oh my god! And I've also been teaching myself how to do Japanese rolled omelette, and it's okay. I'm doing all right. I think the disadvantage I have is that I don't have a square pan, but it's interesting. So yeah, Midnight Diner if you want to. It's on Netflix. I think all of it's on Netflix now, which is great. I've been following Johnny and Sasha for 6 months and only just found out about the soundtracks for their games through random Blue Sky posts, so I wanted to hear more. Epic soundtracks, by the way, big fan. Thank you very much. I really love making soundtracks for games. I think that they're a unique kind of challenge, but also you get a lot of creative freedom. Also, I really love making them on stream as well because they're very silly. I'm based in the northeast, and Pizza Crunch is not something I see here. Northeast of Scotland. Oh, incredible! I grew up in Aberdeen. I had a deep fried Mars bar when I was in Aberdeen, but Hidden Explosion kind of silly. A little bit, yeah, like a good kind of silly. So yeah, I still don't have a command for gambling. Starting to get a bit bilious with all this food talk. Okay, yeah, we'll go move on to what we're going to be doing today. I think that Sassy, I think there's an automatic timer for Camlin, which I think will come up. Nightbot will sort us out. But talking about Camlin, this at the end of this week, we will be closing the season 2 fundraiser. So the Tiltify link will be open for another week, and then we'll be closing it on Saturday, so it'll be up for 2 weeks. Thank you, everyone that has donated. I believe I've contacted everyone who won a giveaway. If I haven't contacted you and you won something, you won one of the giveaways, drop me a message either on Discord or tincanaudio.co.uk/contact and let me know, and I'll get it sorted. The patches are currently being made, and we're currently talking to McGuffin & Co. about getting the upriver downriver prizes for you as well. So that is being sorted. If you haven't donated yet and you would like to donate, are there any posters left? So we're not doing giveaways, but I will say that we over-ordered posters. So there's currently one. It's behind the chat box, but it's there. So there's now a Camlin poster on the back wall, on the studio wall, which is very exciting. I believe the plan is that we are going to be at some point we will be kind of doing a bit of a giveaway. I was going to buy if I could. We will probably be putting the excess ones on sale at some point, but in the future, sometime in the future, mainly because we're kind of doing we're sending posters to the cast as a little Christmas present, as a little thank you. We've got the signed ones. That's not the one Tobias ripped, is it? No, it's not. Tobias didn't rip the poster when he signed it. The pen started to go through the thing. I know we were both there, but I inspected the poster afterwards, and it was fine. Like, so one lucky person is going to get a poster that Tobias was so passionate about he nearly ripped it. What are you talking about tonight? Making 1 hour audio drama about sand or something? No, not quite. Picked up Upriver Downriver at Tabletop Scotland a few months ago, and it's a lovely game. I'm sure whoever won the copy will enjoy it. It's really good. I've been very fortunate to play Upriver Downriver as part of like an actual play, which was great. Like and playing it with Ella as well, which was delightful. I'm off to Dungeons and Flagons in Manchester on Saturday to buy all the MacGuffin games. Cool. Pitcrawler is amazing. God, Pitcrawler is great. I love it. Okay, we're not doing the I hate sand bit. So, thing we're doing tonight, 25 minutes into the stream. So, I wanted to start a new a new stream project because I really enjoyed doing Hello Earth. I really enjoyed doing Anamnesis. I really enjoyed doing the behind the scenes Camlin stuff. And also as well, I think it's more entertaining for people watching. Is this a pro sand stream? I never said I was against sand. Like, I think my attitude towards sand, I think, would be agnostic. But no, actually no, that doesn't make sense because that implies that I don't think sand exists, which is not true. I am ambivalent. That's the word I was looking for. I am ambivalent about sand. Are there beaches in Scotland? Yes, there's loads of beaches with sand. If you go to Aberdeen, which is where I grew up, there's a sandy beach. If you go to the Isle of Harris, which is where I spent a lot of holidays when I was growing up, you have some delightful sandy beaches. Sand isn't real. No, we're not starting. Sand ambivalent. Yeah, okay. I like how we just make our own fun. That's great. But spice might be. Good grief. Was Dune last year or this year? Is sand still a thing? Ooh, well, we'll have to ask Ella. Anyway, right, the thing I'm doing. I get so easily distracted by chat because everyone's so interesting. Perry doesn't. Perry looks at snow and goes, sand. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to have like an ongoing project that I could do, because also I really love doing things like ADDQ, which is like a regular bit now. It's going to become a regular feature, and it's something we're definitely going to be continuing next year, which is very exciting. And also, I've been listening to a lot of shortcuts. I've been listening to a lot of Imaginary Advice. I've been listening to a lot of Ollie's show, The Lightning Bottler, which is great. And I realized I don't really have a feed for like experiments, like for like short pieces, one-off pieces, experiments, that kind of thing. It was going to be the Tin Can Audio Presents feed, but that just didn't work out for a number of different reasons. But yeah, so the idea is that there was an ad for Sonic Golf. Thought of you. Oh, thank you very much. Also, there's a Sonic Golf now. What? This is okay. Brief sidebar. I really love golf games. Like, they're like entertainingly dull. Like, oh. Anyway, finish the sidebar. So what I'm going to be doing on stream for the foreseeable until we do another series release or something like that, is that every month, so I'm going to start every month with like a blank page, and then by the end of the month, we'll have a finished audio piece, and then that'll go into this podcast feed. And I say audio piece because I'm very much giving it, it can be anything. It can be a piece of music. It can be a sound collage. It can be like a short narrative non-fiction piece. It can be something slightly more reflective. It is genuinely just a space for everything. So I'm going to kind of start it off by putting my shortcuts piece up. I'm also going to put the entirety of Anamnesis on that feed when I get to get it set up, because I really like Anamnesis, but now it doesn't have a place in a podcast feed anymore, and I want to kind of make sure it exists somewhere in a podcast. And then there's basically it's a place for all the disparate kind of solo things that I make that don't really fit anywhere else. So that's very much the plan. And tonight I thought I would get started on making stuff. And an idea I've had floating around for about a month now, all told, is I've been sort of recording little voice notes throughout the year, and I also I really like getting to the end of the year and doing like the end of year post. I really love doing that, kind of sitting down and really thinking about what's happened this year and what I want to do going forward. It's one of the few things I enjoy about this time of year. And what I wanted to do this time round, instead of making a blog post that maybe 3 or 4 people read, I thought it might be more fun to try and make sort of more of an audio collage kind of thing. So I've got a handful of voice notes. I have some scribbles on a piece of paper I did while I was down at the APAs, I've got a couple of little audio clips I've captured of doing various things throughout the year. So that's the plan. So I don't really have a structure or anything. I think we're just going to kind of see where we end up going. make Tobias play golf with friends with Amber on stream. I would absolutely freaking love to play golf with friends with Tobias on stream. Like, I cannot overstate this. I really like golf games. There's a game called... this game called... Oh, God, what was it called? It was a golf game for the Switch that I really like. And also, I really love Everybody's Golf. I have it on my PlayStation Vita. It's so nice. I just find them really, like... I just find them really relaxing. It's nice. What about Mario Kart? Well, I want to do Mario Kart as well, but here's the thing. Like, if we play Mario Kart, I'll get competitive. Because, again, this is going to sound like a brag. And it is a brag. It is a bit of a brag. It is a brag, but it's also not. I'm really good at Mario Kart. and I say that because I grew up playing Mario Kart on lots of different platforms. And also in 2020, due to various different circumstances, I ended up playing a lot of Mario Kart, specifically online Mario Kart. And the thing about Mario Kart Online is that you're playing with 12 other people who hate you and know all of your secrets and will tell everybody else about all your secrets. It's awful. I played Mario Kart so much, I very briefly held the record for one of the tracks for about an hour. But that's the level we're talking about. Have I been summoned? Hi, Tobias. We're just talking about games. We're talking about Mario Kart and golf specifically. I truly believe I'm one of the best Mario Kart players in the world. I've never lost a game. Have you played online? Because it hurts. Imagine playing with 11 human beings who are also the best at Mario Kart. Golf with friends would make you competitive as well. I think I'm trying to think which one golf with friends is, but I suspect it will be. I'll have fun with that one. I was killer at the GameCube doubles Mario Kart. Yes. Oh, I love Double Dash. Underrated game. Also, Tin Can Audio Wrapped. I guess a little bit we're doing that today. Also, Sonic Golf is somehow the most Scottish amber coded thing I've heard so far. Okay, right. So one last thing I need to show you before we actually get started today. So I found out a really cool thing you can do with Reaper, which I didn't know you could do before. This has changed my life. So let me put the cans on and take my glasses off. So if you've been here a long time, you'll notice that I do a lot of stuff with automation. I do things with these sort of envelopes and this, it's kind of like keyframes in a video where I've just realized all of these are in the wrong place now. I'll put that back up there. So this just means like, these tracks underneath will get quieter and then come back up again, and then that's the kind of thing. So the problem is that you don't have any visual representation of this. So if I press play here. Volume goes down, but the only way you realize that the volume has gone down is just that you've got this visual representation of it. So turns out if I go to the envelope thing and turn it onto latch, it turns green. And watch what happens if I play that section again. Watch the fader specifically. Goes down. The fader moves. You can automate the fader moving. I didn't know Reaper could do this. This is my Reaper's amazing. It's just great. If you look at it now, it's gonna go back up again in a second. See the number going back up. Like, I wish I'd known this for Camlin. It would have made my life so much easier. Because it would mean I could see where all the volumes were without having to like double check what the volume envelopes. Because normally you have to click this to bring out an extra track, to see the volume envelope. But now there's a way of sorting it so it does it automatically. That's great. I found a way to make the Camlin project file even scarier. Anyway, that's the really super nerd thing I learned today. I was yelling at Ollie about it earlier on. Okay, so this is what we have. We have a blank project file. We have a month to turn this into an audio piece, and it's going to be about how 2024 was just a weird year. In a lot of ways, it was a really good year. In a lot of ways, it was a really bad year. And we're going to be super nerd. It is very super nerd. But yeah, so it's been a weird year, and I think it's kind of fun to try and make this it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Ooh, I might see if I can get a free. Do I have? I might need to duck into our friend here, the LibriVox, because I think that's a fun quote to have in this piece. Do we have any like good adaptations of no, it's not Great Expectations, it's Tale of Two Cities. Do you have any like famous performances of Tale of Two Cities? Is there a film version? I'm not sure there is. Is there an audiobook version read by famous people? Tale of Two Cities book review? No, I'm not sure that's what we're after here. Right, let's Tale of Two Cities opening. I'll do you one. I beg your pardon. Oh! There's a 1935 film. Spice will do you one. Now, right, get your bets in if there's going to be a quote here. Come on, say the line. Say the line. Oh, the credits are so long. Can't hear it. Oh. There you go. Ooh, this is promising. No, they're not going to read it out! Damn it! Oh! We're not going to read it? Ugh, okay, right. Well, I'm still going to... Yeah, I like the music, though, so we're still going to use it. Incidentally, if you ever need to download audio or anything from a worst adaptation ever, okay, I wouldn't go that far. If you ever need to download any videos off YouTube, if you ever need to do that with the rights holders' permissions and stuff, you can get the audio of it. Cobalt.tools is the best way to do it. They have lots of different supported services. Look at, there you go. Like all the supported services there. And they don't hold on to your data. They don't track you or anything, which is good. I think we need more of that, honestly. Okay, well, we've got the music. Amber, do you want me to voice note you the opening read out? Don't do that yet. I'm gonna keep looking. I'm gonna try something. No, okay. What? No, that's House on Haunted Hill. We don't want that. What was the year? What was the year for the other one? 1958. It might not have the introduction. Well, let's give it a go anyway. What if it was read by that terrible TikTok AI voice? No, I don't want to do that. I want to see if we can get something here. This is the thing, Tobias. I don't know if I can trust you to record it in a normal voice. He's practicing it next to you. You are a consummate professional, but you are also a chaotic being. Right, okay, yeah, we get it. Here we go. No, I don't think we're getting... Yeah, Tobias, I think we might have to. I think we might have to get your take on Dickens. I was going for 2 minutes. What is happening? I'm trying to find a recording of the opening of not Great Expectations, Tale of Two Cities. Somebody said there was an audiobook version. Witnessing the rabbit trail in real time makes me so happy because yes, that's how my brain works too. Yeah. There is an audiobook, but not sure by who. It was the only way I could get through that brick. Dickens is a bit dense. But the thing is, I studied Dickens at university and I really like his writing. I think it's just, I think if it clicks with you or it doesn't. I think, but the same with a lot of classic literature, right? Like, right. Let's see. Best of times, worst of times, speech. Oh, it's lots of actors doing self-tapes. That's not what we want. Yeah, no, this is not helpful at all. This Fraser clip?
Woody, I think it was a great sacrifice for you to give your clothes to Rebecca. It puts me in mind of another novel by my favorite British author.
Didn't Dickens also
You know
publish
who I
his
mean.
book in serials?
I'll
Yes.
give you a hint.
Yes, he did.
Charles.
Paid by the word.
In charge? Are you people really this ignorant? Hand in hand. Dickens' classic, A Tale of Two Cities. See just how much fun great literature can be. Book the first. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Wait. Which was it?
Yeah, okay, we found it. Tobias, I still think we'll use your audio as well, so please do send it over. But we're going to use this as well, because I think Which Is It is very funny. Right, does this mean I also have to have... Right. Tobias, if you send it to me on Discord. Apparently there have been 4 separate musical adaptations. My goodness. Okay, so let's get... Actually, no, I just need the audio. But getting Kelsey Grammer is... We love Tobias, but getting Kelsey Grammer is pretty sweet. Right, well, let's pull that in there. That's a good one. Here we go.
Are you people really this... On the throne of England? Foolishness. First. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Wait. Which was it?
That's a fun little clip. I like that. Why not both Tobias and Kelsey Grammer? I think I am going to use both. I think there's a lot we can pull in there. So we'll call this Dickens 1. So I do have an idea of what I want to start it with. So if I go to the folder, which is over here. So let's pop this down. Kelsey for the serious, Tobias for the chaos gremlin. I think we can find a way for both. So this is a voice note. So when I was in when I was down for the APAs, when I was down in London for the Audio Production Awards, at which I won silver for Best Sound Design Producer. Still haven't figured out a way to talk about that in a normal way. Getting sleepy, going to say goodbye. Well, thanks for dropping by, Andrich Cat Possum. It was good to see you. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Basically, I was staying in a hotel, and basically the hotel room was so loud. It was like so. The room I was in was right outside the giant hotel sign for Travel Lodge. It's a bright white sign. I could hear the neon hum coming into the room. And it sounded really, really strange. Hannah Amy, hello, welcome. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you. Like I said, still haven't quite figured out how to talk about it. It just recorded. Thank you. And about to be sent. You are the best. You are the best. Are you sending it to me directly, or are you putting it in the ADDQ server? Either way, I'll find it. Anyway, basically, it was a complicated day. The APAs was a complicated day. Basically, I got on the train in the morning from at Hexham after staying with my parents overnight, and I had maybe about 4 hours on the train. During that 4 hours, it was announced that Shortcuts, which is kind of a show in a BBC Radio 4 show that's kind of like this little corner of experimental audio storytelling. It was a dream of mine to be on there, to have a piece commissioned for Shortcuts, which I was very lucky to have at the start of the year. It's one of my favorite radio shows, and I've been listening to it before I knew I wanted to work in audio, and it was announced that it's not going to be renewed for another season, and it's finishing in January. So that whole train journey down to London from Hexham, I was basically reading just lots from audio producers and people who work in audio in the UK and the whole world, kind of react to this news on the day of the Audio Production Awards. And it was something that was talked about a lot at the Audio Production Awards as well. And it was this weird little microcosm of this year, because we were all there. Some of us won awards, and it was this celebration of the audio community in the UK. But also everyone was reacting to this horrible news that was universally bad for everyone who works in the industry. So it was a very strange day. And I ended up getting home maybe about midnight, and then due to all that emotion and all that feeling, and then the noise, I ended up recording a voice note, and I thought it might be interesting to open the piece with it, because it's sort of an interesting little noise. Have not listened to it on headphones yet. I've only ever listened to it through my phone, so we'll see how it sounds. Okay, it is the 20th of November. It is about 1 o'clock in the morning, so I think technically it's the 21st. I'm in a hotel in London. I'm in the Elephant and Castle Travel. Let's boost this up a bit. I'm hoping you'll be able to hear the noise. Okay, it is the 20th of November. It is about 1 o'clock in the morning, so I think technically it's the 21st. I'm in a hotel in London. I'm in the Elephant and Castle Travel Lodge. And the room I'm in is right outside the massive Travel Lodge sign, which is shining through one of the windows. Also, there's a weird humming noise, which you probably can't hear. Turns out you can hear it if you listen. But it sounds like frogs. It sounds like kind of frog chorus, almost. Anyway, I'm having trouble sleeping. I spent the evening... Yeah, okay, so I think that's a nice little opener. It does sound like frogs. It does, doesn't it? Like if you just take this little section here, turn it up. And that sounds like frogs. Because I think I have recordings of frogs. I think places. Oh no, it's not in the sound effect library. That's really frustrating. Do I have it in my animal sounds? That's cicadas. Okay, that's not the California trip, right? Yes, I did. I managed to get a recording of some on a beach with sand. On a managed to get some. Basically, we hopped down onto this beach, and then I noticed there's a sort of pier, and I sort of hear this weird noise. So while everyone's chatting and getting to know each other, I sort of wander over to this sort of slightly dilapidated pier with my recorder, and I get this frog sound. Popeye the Savior Man, hello, welcome. How's it going? It's going very, very well, thank you. We are making something new, which is always an exciting time. So yeah, so I think we can kind of frog chorus, almost.
It was the best of times. It was.
So I kind of want to copy this. Let's see if I can figure this sound in. Maybe make it a bit louder as well. Which we can do automatically. Watch this. Latch. And then we're going to put that on the media lane, so we can put this up. Like kind of frog chorus, almost. I might see if. Let me dive into my California trip audio, see if I can find the frogs. It will be in. Not there, I don't think. Nope. It's in. Frogs. Yeah, because I want to put the frogs in there. I think that's kind of fun. Where did I put my? Just need to remember where I saved it all to. Seattle audio. There we go. LA part 1. Oh no, I didn't label them, chat. No, I think it's that one. No. Sorry, everybody. This is just a holiday where I just recorded everything.
This can't go wrong.
It's just getting here.
It's just a getting here, like, yeah.
Okay. I think we're getting closer. That's Santa Monica.
At night, so. They hide at night, did you say? They hunt at night. Right.
That's Conan the Affiunchi. So right, we're getting closer, everybody. So. Okay, now we're. There it is! There it is! There it is! Found it! Found it! Found it! Found it! There we go. One of the places we used to live, there was a tree frog that decided to sing that night right on the glass of our window. Aww. The frogs are in the Firefox folder. No, I got them. So this is California frogs. Right next to the Pacific Highway. There's a specific name for it. We had to run across it at night time. It was terrifying. I like the idea of kind of having a nice little, maybe like a little chord there.
Noise, which you probably can't hear.
This little euphoric sound.
But it sounds like frogs. It sounds like kind of frog chorus, almost.
Ooh, right. Okay, let's try something. Let's try something. Let's. Yeah. Do I want this one? Let's find out. Let's. Frogs for ambience. Yeah, that's what you like. That's good. That's what do I want? I want. So I want a really long attack and. Frogs for amberance. Don't know, that one felt weak right as I said it. I appreciate you trying though. I appreciate the effort. Right, let's try this.
But it sounds like frogs. It sounds like kind of frog chorus, almost.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Wait. Which was it?
Okay. Macamyra, hello. Let's turn the release up a little bit more so we get a nice slow. Nice gentle fade out. And then what we can do is we can fade back in the hotel ambience. So I'm going to have a little waterfall here using Tobias's audio and the Cheers clip. Yes. I think we have something here. Something like somewhere between Lucy in the Sky and Wish You Were Here. I do really love the Wish You Were Here album. I think it's one of my favorite things in the world. Oh, Red Dead Zombie. There's your link. That mix of high and low synth sounds reminds me of Wish You Were Here. Yeah. I mean the opening to Shine On You Crazy Diamond rewired my brain. But you may think, this synth sound sounds pretty good. There's no possible way we could make it better. But I think there might be a way to make it better. I think what we need to do is we need to make it bisexual.
Like kind of frog chorus, almost.
Oh, listen to that.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Wait, which was it?
Okay, so I'm gonna call this synth pad. Call this verb sound, and then we're gonna call this sounds one. River second wife, hello. I write for Pink Floyd. Yeah, well, we're doing something a little bit Pink Floyd inspired. Actually, you know what? What happens if I?
Like kind of frog chorus, almost.
Ooh, I kind of prefer the lower octaves.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Wait, which was it?
Moira, I love how you've instantly jumped on the the frog chat. Sign the petition for bisexual to be changed to stereosexual. Oh, I love that. Oh, stereosexual. Oh man, it's my favorite band. Man, that's what I should call the podcast. Ooh, very well done, Popeye the Savior Man. Excellent work.
Like kind of frog chorus, almost.
Okay, I think this needs to be over slightly because you're...
Like kind of frog chorus, almost.
Might make the attack even longer, actually. There you go.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Wait, which was it?
So there's a thing that I've started doing for... Actually, no, we'll call that sounds 2. See, this is what happens when I make sort of slightly weirder stuff that's not music, it's not audio fiction, but it's not strictly non-fiction either, is that I don't necessarily go in with like a template in mind. I don't have like a specific order for things. So I am kind of figuring it out as I go along. Because initially I wanted to make this really verby, but I don't think I'm going to do that now. I think what instead I'm going to make a bus specifically for like a reverb. Because you can do interesting things with especially with laugh tracks. Laugh tracks are great for audio transitions. They're fantastic. Let me show you why. So if I throw Valhalla Supermassive on here, so we're gonna get a nice.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Wait.
Just
which was it?
Hear that lovely little echo out. I might use a slightly cleaner reverb because that's quite. You know what? Let's just go with Old Faithful.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Wait, which was it?
See that little reverb thing there. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the volume envelope, and we're going to start bringing it up around about here when the laugh starts. And then we're going to have it kind of come up here. And then we're going to make sure that you don't hear it when the clip starts. So this is what it sounds like now.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Wait, which was it?
Or alternatively, you can add a little fade if you want it to be slightly less abrupt.
Times. Wait. Which was it?
I'm going to turn it down slightly. It's giving laughter escaping from the Phantom Zone. A little bit, yeah, but it just works as a really nice way to transition into different scenes. Tobias, have you sent me things? Yes, you have. Thank you. I'm slightly scared to listen to this, but it's gonna be fine. Okay. Oh, this file is so long. Okay, well, strap in, everybody.
A Tale of Two Cities. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope.
It goes on so...
It was the winter of despair.
I only need the first line.
We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven.
We were all going I'm scared what this is.
In short, the period was so far like the present period that some of its noisiest authorities insisted on its being received for good or for evil.
The thing is, it's a good reading.
In the superlative degree of comparison only.
Uh-oh, here we go.
A Tale of Two Cities. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair.
Okay.
A Tale of Two Cities. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct the other way. In short, the period was so far like the present period that some of its noisiest authorities insisted on its being received, for good or for evil, in the superlative degree of comparison only.
3 very good readings. So, let's see what this sounds like when we throw it all together.
Like, kind of frog chorus, almost. It's like...
Because it's got such a big release on it, it needs...
Right outside the massive Travel Lodge sign, which is shining through one of the windows. Also, there's a weird humming noise, which you probably can't hear. But it sounds like frogs.
Oh, jelly bean break, thank you very much.
It sounds like...
Rip a second one.
Like, kind of frog chorus, almost.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Okay, we're gonna...
It was the best of times. It was the
best of times. It was the worst of times. Wait.
Right, we're gonna mute this for the time being because we're gonna move stuff around.
A Tale of Two Cities.
I'm gonna see if I can keep Tim Curry because I think it's quite fun.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
I'm gonna keep that. See where we end up. Incidentally, by the way, speaking of Mr. Curry, I have a bracelet that I got at a Pride market, and it has. I think it's going to focus, but it's Dr. Frankenfurter as the star, which I absolutely love. This bracelet, it's great. I forgot I had it. I forgot I had it, honestly. Because right, I have another. Whoops. Saint Frankie. So we'll call this. Call this Archival 1. Archival 2, because I've got another thing to stick up, another voice note. Because basically, when I came up with this idea, I recorded a quick scratch track. Yes, which I think might be useful here. If we hit target, I'm sure I can record one of the openings as Brian. Don't yeet me, I'm a confess. I have not seen Rocky Horror Picture Show. I mean, you don't have to.
So, when I was at the APAs, somebody came up to me and we were talking, and they said, "How are you so productive?
Oh, yes,
you always seem to be making stuff." I didn't really know how to answer at the time, but I think the honest answer is fear.
I want to. I was just told that I needed to see it with the shadow. But, like, I can never find out where they are. I think it should be presented to you properly. Yeah, I think the best way to experience it for the first time is with a friend.
I have never felt, and I've never been.
Where has it gone?
It's really bad. It's really bad out there.
When did I record?
The shortcuts got cancelled.
Yeah, no, I clearly forgot to record the first line.
So.
Okay. So we're going to record some voiceover now, which is great because, you know, I don't find recording narration difficult at all, especially when I'm being observed. Okay. Let's solo this for the time being. Let's get a scratch down. We can always re-record it later. 2024 was a good year. 2024 was a weird year. 2024 was a bad year. This is the thing, I have to wave my arms around. I can't just do things normal. Right, everybody turn your backs. It's fine, I'm back. Okay. Thanks.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a good year. So chickpea is neither a chick nor a pea. Discuss. Is it a legume? I'm not really sure. I've never really thought about it. No, it's an old SNL riff.
Worst of times.
2024 was a good year.
Worst of times.
2024 was a good. 24 was
Which
a bad.
was it?
Was a good year.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of
2024
times.
Weird.
Times.
2024 was a weird year.
Wait. Which
2024
was it?
was. I'm going to make this bit a bit longer. I love doing stuff like this. Okay. It was a good year.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a weird year. 2024 was a bad year. Oh, what am I doing? There's a much more interesting way of recording this voiceover. Hang on. not here for boring, clean audio. Where's the... The jelly bean is working. This is I don't know when this has happened, but I've just developed a real aversion to clean voiceover. I don't know why. I think maybe it's because I've been editing so much of it, but no, I want character. I want vibes. Get the cable. Okay. Ah! Testing. No, I need to turn the other mic off. Okay. Crying and needing clean, consistent audio. Right. I need the mixer up. Focus right. There we go. Do it later. Okay, I need to turn that off for a start. Put that on. Testing. 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 Ah, there we go. We got it. Okay, that's way too loud. Just gonna turn that down. And now I have nothing. Okay, that's also good. So we're going to can I mute this? Nope. Can I mute? And then I love this sound. It's so good. Okay, let's do a record. So input number 2, talking. Okay. Now you got to hold it upside down. Madam Sweet and Magic, thank you so much for the 9 months. Incredible. Thank you so much. A tier 2 as well. My God. Thank you. I think the gain might be slightly too loud on the phone. Let's turn that down slightly. A child. Okay. 2024 was a good year. 2024 was a weird year. 2024 was a bad year. Okay, let's hear that back, I suppose. Turn that all the way down. 2024 was a good year. Okay, so please include the hang up clip. When you say the hang up clip, do you mean the thing I did just there? Because I need to record that separately, which I don't mind doing. The click, you mean? I'm not. Oh, well, I'll tell you what. We'll record it as a second. We'll record it as a second bit. Yeah. That's nice. It's just a good sound, isn't it? Let's get it recorded. Okay, amazing.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024.
It was the best of times. It was the...
Okay, this is all a bit of a mess. Okay, I miss payphones. They made such great sounds and fun little narrative devices too. Hey, I made an entire audio drama around the idea of payphones because they are very, very fun. They just sound interesting. Right, let's mute all the sounds for a bit. Just the synthesizer. Do we want to put a phone ring in there? Never used a payphone. I've never used one either. The sound I used for the tower, because there's a phone There's a payphone just down the road, and I walked past it on my way home, and there was one night I was walking home from work, and I kind of ran in there and then recorded it. I really love how you're making these noises, but where could we find a library of samples and other noises? Well, Meadowsweet Magic, since you ask. There is a company called Avani Sounds. They make sound effects. I use a lot of their sounds in my sound effect libraries. When I used a lot of them for Camlin. I used a lot of them for Hello Earth. Oh man, if there was only a discount code. Mecha Marver, you are in luck. If you go to Avani... If you go to Avani's website and enter the code Ambidevero at checkout, you get 30% off. And also, I get some of the money from that, so you support me making stuff. I'm so bad at this. To the point, like, I will tell you how bad I am at this, right? So, Avani sent me an email saying, "Hi, our Black Friday deal is about to go live. Here is a download code for you, and also here's an affiliate link, so if people click on your affiliate link to download the Black Friday deal, they get your discount automatically." I did not read this email until Monday, after the sale had closed. I'm not good at being sponsored. This is not to say don't do it, obviously. I feel like I'm improving. If you do want to sponsor me, you're very welcome to. Please drop me an email, tincanaudio.co.uk/contact. What was I doing? I think you're great at being sponsored. What's that code again? It's Ambidevero. Ambidevero, all one word, all capitalized. I didn't get a chance to... I've not found out how to edit the code yet. To get 30% off. Amber, Tobias and I got a coffee before we left Glasgow, and Tobias and I were doing a funny bit about getting a discount code, and Amber raised their hands as if to type. Yeah, this is Pavlovian response. If somebody says discount code for sound design, I instinctively move my hands forward to type in Command Avani. That's the level I've been trained by chat. I'm going to have to run as I've got a driving lesson at 7 a.m. Oh my goodness, good luck, Tobias. It was good to see you. Thank you so much for that recording. Let's get this intro put in. You're driving.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024.
It was the best of times. It was the...
Okay, so here's the thing you need to do. You need to know about telephone stuff. Oh, follower goal reached! Have we hit 430 followers? Oh my goodness, Phil Corbett, hello, welcome. Oh, thank you so much for following. That's incredibly kind of you. I hope you enjoy your time here, and I hope you're doing well, Phil. It's good to hear from you. 430 followers. My goodness, that's a lot of people. My goodness. Hi, Phil Corbett. Hi, how you doing? Okay, so. What we need to do with the phone audio is we need to put a compressor on it. So a lot of people think when they're doing phone audio that it's just a case of putting an EQ on it. No, there's much more to it than that. Best thing to do is throw a really hard compressor on it. So it means that everything's kind of bumped up. So if I play that now,
2024 was a good year.
So you can kind of hear that the audio is now bumped up. So it means those air plosives aren't taking up all the space.
2024 was a good year.
I'm going to add a limiter as well.
2024 was a weird year.
Let's pump that up.
2024 was a bad year.
Right, here's how we're going to do it. We're going to do it. So remember that reverb trick we did earlier? Let's do it with a bit of sound design. We need it to be way over here. So here's how this particular trick's gonna work. So we're doing the laugh track ambient thing again. And then...
Was it?
Yeah, there we go. So that's a nice kind of underline under the that's the sound design bit done. Okay, so now we need to add in extra bits.
2024 was a good year.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a weird year.
I need to put something in there, and I'm trying to figure out what it is.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a good year.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a weird year.
Stick something in.
It was the best of times.
We're not doing that one.
It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair.
Yeah, I think I prefer that because make it more year related, seasonal rather. You should move to Wales. That's just generally true, I think.
Four was a weird.
It was the spring of hope.
I'm going to do something with Tobias's voice as well because I think we can do something fun with that. Like I said, just aversion to clean audio right now. Don't know what it is. Don't know why.
Of times, it was the worst of times.
2024 was a good year.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a weird year.
It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair.
2024 was a bad year.
Wait. Which was it?
And then we'll bring back the frogs. Okay.
Kind of frog chorus.
Right, what are we going to do? How do you solve a problem like Tobias? We are going to run this through. Let's see what we've got here.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024.
Let's put this on a loop and see what we can do with it. Let's run through some. So I love this plugin because it does cabinet emulation, which I really it does DAC encoding, and it also does cabinet stuff, so you can get some really interesting little sounds. It's also a vocoder as well. We won't be using that.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Just kind of.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Warm and crunchy? Oh yeah. All sorts of really cool things on here.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
That's awful.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
I quite like that. See what I mean? You get that very particular cabinet sound.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Like quite slightly tinny, which I really love.
Almost.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a good year.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a weird year.
It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair.
2024 was a bad year.
Wait, whoa. Which was it?
Okay. I think we got something. I think we've got something
A
interesting.
frog chorus, almost.
Let's see if Stereo Savage can do anything for us.
It was the best of times.
Ooh, yeah, there we go. Look at
It was
that.
the worst of times.
It's really
2024 was a good year.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a weird year.
It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair.
2024 was a bad year.
Wait, whoa. Which was it?
Anyway.
Sorry, notice we're talking about driving. So, I've been relearning how to drive this year, and on Saturday, for the first time ever, since I learned to drive when I was 18 years old, I'm now 32, I drove our car by myself, nobody else in the car. I drove back in from the centre of Glasgow back home, and then I drove back in again to pick up my partner from her work Christmas party. I felt very grown up. I felt very much like a grown up. And I was really scared. I was really worried about driving by myself. I've said before, I think when you're relearning how to drive when you're a bit older, you're so much more aware of your own mortality. So I was very much just like, no, like the reason I'm not doing it is because I find the idea really scary. So I decided, but eventually I think this year I was just like, I think the thing that changed it for me was that we had to drive down to Glastonbury 2 years ago because we were performing at Glastonbury, which sounds very impressive, but we were in the Poetry and Words tent, so it was myself and my partner performing on stage to, at that point, was maybe like a dozen very sleepy poets by that point. But she had to do the whole journey by herself. She had to drive the whole way by herself, which is not fair. So the idea is that I would learn to drive this year, so it means at Christmas time when we're driving down to my parents, I'll be the one driving, which is very exciting. Thank you. I'm glad. Thank you very much. Reminds me I need to learn to drive again. Keep failing my driving exam. So much for the theory tests have expired. It's hard. It's a hard thing. It's yeah. How long is the drive to your parents? It's about 3 hours. It's down to Hexham, but it's mostly along motorways, which is actually relatively straightforward. Getting on and off motorways, the scariest thing you'll ever do in your entire life. Once you're on the motorway, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. So yeah, it's I'm at the stage now where I'm looking forward to it now, which is good. Which I didn't think I'd get to. I think I'd be scared. I thought I'd be scared of the whole thing. Okay, let's get back to this.
Okay, it is.
Also, before I say anything else, I'm very aware that we're at 25 to 9, and I've not even done. I've maybe done like a minute and a half. The idea is this is going to take us like a month. You know, this is going to take us like the whole month to do. So like, I think a lot of the time when I'm making stuff on stream, I feel the pressure to like finish a thing by the end. But I've given myself the whole month, so I'm like, I'm just gonna, however far we get during the stream, that's how far we get during the stream. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, it is the 20th of November. It is about 1 o'clock in the morning. So I think technically it's the 21st. I'm in a hotel in London. I'm in the Elephant and Castle Travelodge. And the room I'm in is right outside the massive Travelodge sign, which is shining through one of the windows. Also, there's a weird humming noise, which you probably can't hear. But it sounds like frogs. It sounds like kind of frog chorus, almost.
Yeah, I'm gonna let that play a little bit longer, actually. I think I'm gonna move that over.
Almost.
So then we get the sound of frogs actually coming up.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a good year.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a weird year.
It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair.
2024 was a bad year.
Wait. Which was it?
I'm having trouble sleeping. I spent the evening at the 2024 audio.
I'm currently in therapy to get more confidence in driving. I have my license, but anxiety was the big thing stopping me. I think the big thing that I'm always worrying about is that I'm not taking in all the information that I need to. But I think something that my driving instructor told me, and also the thing that I realized driving by myself, is that like I think you pick up a lot more than you realize. Like there's a difference between picking something up and then consciously picking up on it. It's a tricky thing to explain, but like if I can do it, you can. I'm chatting about moving places. Yeah. I never learned to drive in the first place. I do have some desire, but I need a specialist instructor now who could teach me in an adapted car where I can do everything by hand. I'm sort of passively looking, but I don't need to drive right this moment, so I don't have the impetus to search properly. I mean, like, I think this is the thing that stopped me from learning, right? Because I think the thing with me was my thing was like I live next to a train station and there's a bus stop right outside my house. Like if I needed to go anywhere, I would walk, or I would get the bus or public transport, because public transport in Glasgow is okay. Like the only time I really need to go in the car anywhere is if I want to go out to Loch Lomond or drive somewhere for work, which I don't do anymore because I don't do film stuff anymore. I don't do sound recording on films. So so I think the thing that stopped me is just the fact that I've never really felt the need to drive. So yeah. Right, let's do some. Well, first of all, Tobias. I never thought I'd say this, but Tobias needs to be louder.
It was the best of times.
I think the effect needs to be louder. That's the problem.
It was the worst of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a good year.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a weird year.
It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair.
2024 was a bad year.
Wait.
You know what, I'm going to cut out the second clip because I think we can do something more interesting, because there was this bit here. So when I was at the APAs, somebody came up to me and we were talking and they said, "How are you so productive?
somebody came up to me and we were talking and they said, "How are you so productive? You always seem to..." And they said, "How are you so productive? You
Definitely
always
not
seem to be
clipping that for
making..."
Tobias later.
I didn't really know how to answer at the time, but I think the honest answer is fear.
So... Oh, I've broken everything again, but that's fine. That's kind of the point. So...
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Now we're going for texture here. That's the kind of idea that we're going for. Ooh, speaking of, we didn't add the cassette tape effect to the synth. Come on. What is amateur hour?
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a good year.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a weird
Somebody
year.
came up to me and they said, "How are you so productive?" Somebody came up to me and they said, "How are you so productive? You always seem to be making stuff." I didn't really know how to answer at the time, but I think the honest answer... I didn't really know how to answer at the time, but I think the honest answer is fear.
2024 was a bad year.
Wait. Which was it?
Okay. That's all sounding pretty good. Actually, because this is an effect track.
I'm having trouble sleeping.
Alright. I'll get round to you in a second. Okay. So we need to now do some creative panning. So we're going to have that be in the center.
2024 was a good year.
It was the best of times. It was the worst.
I'm going to stick that on the left channel.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a good year.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a weird year.
Somebody came up to me and they said, "How are you so productive? You always seem to be making stuff." I didn't really know how to answer at the time, but I think the honest answer is fear.
2024 was a bad year.
Wait. Which was it? Wait. Which was it?
Actually, I kind of like that cutting out there. Bit more of a pause, I think. It's kind of nice.
The worst of times.
2024 was a weird year.
Somebody came up to me and they said, "How are you so productive? You always seem to be making stuff." I didn't really know how to answer at the time, but I think the honest answer is fear.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a good year.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a weird year.
Somebody came up to me and they said, "How are you so productive? You always seem to be making stuff." I didn't really know how to answer at the time, but I think the honest answer is fear.
2024 was a bad year.
Wait. Which was it?
Okay. I think I might space that out a bit later, because I think it's quite a slow piece so far, and I'm enjoying all the textures, but I think there's maybe more we can be doing with it here. Let's... Ooh, can the granulizer be our friend? Let's find out. 100%, yep. So let's get from telephone. Tobias. Archival. Oh no, there's a much more interesting way of doing it, but we'll try this first, and then we'll try the other thing.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a good year.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a weird year.
Somebody came up to me and they said, "How are you so productive? You always seem to be making stuff." I didn't really know how to answer at the time, but I think the honest answer is fear.
2024 was a bad year.
Wait, whoa. Which was it?
Realizing now that I dived into this stream with no context as to what this is. So, hello if you're just joining us. So, I've been trying to figure out what the next stream project is. You know, like, because I feel like I get more out of the stream, and I feel like people who are watching get more out of the stream when I'm working on a project. So, like Hello Earth, or the soundtracks to Pit Crawler and Upriver Downriver, or the Camlin streams, or Anamnesis, that kind of thing. And also I've been listening to a lot of sort of solo, I think the term would be solo podcasters. So people like Ross Sutherland with Imaginary Advice, Phil Corbett, who joined us earlier with The Wind, Oliver Morris with The Lightning Bottler, and Talia Augustidis with I think it's called Unreality. I can't quite remember. And I've always wanted to do something like that. I've always wanted to kind of have a project like that. I've tried a couple of times. It's what the Tin Can Audio Presents feed was meant to be, but it didn't quite work out. So what I'm going to be doing on stream for the foreseeable until we have like a series release or something like that is that at the start of every month we'll start with a blank project file. And then by the end of the month, we'll have an audio piece, and then that audio piece will go into this new podcast feed when I figure out what it's called. I've already kind of got some archival stuff that I want to put in there, like my shortcuts piece that came out in February rather, and then also the really short piece I made about names with the sampler, and then also Anamnesis as a series. Like just post it as one long track, because that's kind of how you're meant to listen to it, really. And then it means that, you know, we'll start off every month with ADDQ, and then the next stream we'll open up a blank project file, and then we'll start making something. And when I say something, it can be a documentary, or it can be something more reflective like this, which is kind of meant to be like an end of year collage kind of thing. It can be like a short fiction piece. It could be a short documentary. It can be anything, really. I've left that open. It can even be like a piece of music or something like that. But yeah, so that's what this is. This is what we're working on. So let's put these down. So these are effect tracks. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to copy this track, the synth track. We're going to duplicate it. Oops, we're not going to do that. We're going to duplicate it like this. And then we're going to run the vocoder through it. So get our chip crusher back. This is the thing I've done a couple of times on a couple of non-fiction pieces that I've made, and I really like doing it. The classic vocoder. Oh, make sure media is in. And then we're going to put the telephone. Any vocals, basically, are going to go through the vocoder. So Archival 2 is going in there as well. So.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a good year.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a weird year. year.
Somebody came up to me and they said, "How are you so productive? You're always..."
Bear with me. Just come with me on this.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a good year.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a weird year.
Somebody came up to me and they said, "How are you so productive? You always seem to be making stuff." I didn't really know how to answer at the time, but I think the honest answer is fear.
2024 was a bad year.
Wait. Which was it?
A good year.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a weird year.
Somebody came up to me and...
So what I love doing about this trick is basically vocoder, drench it in reverb, but then also have the have all the vocal cut, anything with vocals in it running through, because it just creates an extra little bit of really lovely texture.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a good year.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a weird year.
Somebody came up to me and they said, "How are you so productive? You always seem to be making stuff." I didn't really know how to answer at the time, but I think the honest answer is fear.
2024 was a bad year.
Wait. Which was it?
Okay, we're gonna just fix this. So now you get this delightful, best with headphones, obviously.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a good year.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a weird year.
Somebody came up to me and they said, "How are you so productive? You always seem to be making stuff." I didn't really know how to answer at the time, but I think the honest answer is fear.
2024 was a bad year.
Wait. Which was it?
Fear.
2024 was a bad year.
Wait. Which was it?
I'm having trouble sleeping.
Let's... When did the volume get pushed up there? That doesn't make any bloody sense. What on earth? Oh, hang on, yeah, it didn't come down. That'll be why.
I'm having trouble sleeping. I spent the evening at the 2024 Audio Production Awards. I was nominated for Best Sound Design Producer.
Again, still haven't figured out how to talk about it. But there's a few different things to go into after this. But let's get this bit nailed down first. Yeah, hang on. So telephone vocals, telephone FX, VO tape 2, bias. Yep. So these are all purple. Bias sounds 1, sounds 2. Yep. So these are going to be this color, and then these are going to be blue because they're music. Excellent. Okay, good.
Okay, it is the 20th of November. It is about 1 o'clock in the morning.
I think I'm aiming for like a 5-minute.
So I think
piece.
technically it's the 21st. I'm in a hotel in London. I'm in the Elephant and Castle Travel Lodge. And the room I'm in is right outside the massive Travel Lodge sign, which is shining through one of the windows. Also, there's a weird humming noise, which you probably can't hear. But it sounds like frogs. It sounds like kind of frog chorus, almost.
I'm trying to get this fade right. It's
almost.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a good year.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a weird year.
Somebody came up to me and they said, "How are you so productive? You always seem to be making stuff." I didn't really know how to answer at the time, but I think the honest answer is fear.
2024 was a bad year.
Wait, whoa. Which was it?
Stating the thesis of the piece right away.
I'm having trouble sleeping. I spent the evening at the 2024 Audio Production Awards.
Sorry about that. That was the phone mic being silly.
I'm having trouble sleeping. I spent the evening at the 2024 Audio Production Awards.
I need to head now, but I've enjoyed this a lot. Thanks all. Thanks, Kieran. Good to see you. Hopefully see you again soon.
I'm having trouble sleeping. I spent the evening at the 2024 Audio Production Awards.
See, I just see audio drama habitually.
2024 at the 2024 audio.
Right, we're going to do some Frankensteining here. Aspiring editors, take note.
2024 Audio Production Awards.
So we're going to take the start of audio here.
Audio Production Awards. Audio Production Awards. Audio Production Awards. Audio Production Awards. For Audio Production Awards. For Audio Production Awards. For Audio Production Awards. Production Awards. Audio Production Awards. Audio Production Awards.
There we go.
2024 Audio Production Awards.
There we go. This is what you have to do constantly for our episodes. Yeah, this is the biggest trick I do for What the Trans. Because if you the reason why it's the best trick is because you don't hear it. The best way to do it is you just like have the two clips and start putting them together until they start gelling, and then you just keep it's just fiddling around with it until it clicks.
24 Audio Production Awards.
But also recognizing that if it doesn't work, you need to do something else.
I spent the evening at the 2024 Audio Production Awards. I was nominated for Best Sound Design Producer.
Oh my God.
Silver, which is great. I'm the second best sound designer in the country. The best sound designer in the country lives in Canada. No. It was.
I think I'm going to put that bit in later because I do like it. I just think it's not quite where we need to be.
Production Awards. I was nominated for.
That's gonna pop that over here. It's very wonderful, and by the sound of it, an emotionally open insight. Well, so basically, this is a voice note I recorded at like 2:00 in the morning. But also like I've got a few different things to mention and talk about that kind of happened this year, because as I keep saying, like, as I say at the beginning, it's been on the one hand it's been a very good year, but on the other hand it's been quite a bad one, and it's trying to figure out what to do with that. It's meant to, rather than doing an end of year list or an end of year blog post, I kind of thought it'd be fun to do an end of year weird little audio piece.
I'm having trouble sleeping. I spent the evening at the 2024 Audio Production Awards.
There's more audio editing than I was expecting in the editing gig I got. It's video footage cut down for shorts. Very, very, very fun, very stretch. But being here in your stream has helped me figure out some things. Good, I'm glad. I'm glad it is helpful. Like, the thing I will keep saying about these streams is just like, I'm glad they're useful to people.
2024 Audio Production Awards.
It's not just, us screaming at each other for ADDQ. As fun as that is.
It was a really good night. It was really wonderful to see so many people. So many really cool people.
So we're going to do another one.
It was really wonderful to see so many people. So many really cool people. It was really wonderful to see so many people. So
we're going to take the start of the S there.
So many really cool people. It was really wonderful to see so many really...
So it's not quite working there, but we're just going to move it over slightly more.
It was a really good night. It was really wonderful to see so many really cool people.
Oh, so smooth. These streams are educational and entertaining. Looks over at pile of tricks she's stolen for Dave. I still haven't listened. I've got it on my iPod ready to listen. I've not had a chance.
It was a really good night. It was really wonderful to see so many really cool people, and to get to chat with so many interesting.
I've had multiple people independently tell me to listen, because it would, and I quote, what was the quote? It was your kind of shit, which was quite fun, as in like weird shit. So that was quite fun.
It was a really good night. It was really wonderful to see so many really cool people, and to get to chat with so many interesting people making sound. But it felt weird to be winning an award for sound design.
Yeah, we can maybe do some cutting there. I think that could be quite fun, just to chop it up a bit. What did I do? Best sound design producer, and I got silver, which is great. Producer, and I got silver, which is great. And that's my insight into winning an award. Amber Devereaux, how do you feel about winning silver at the Audio Production Awards?
Which is great. And the second, and I got silver, which is great.
I don't think I need to.
Interesting people making sound, but it felt weird to be
multiple people telling you to listen. They're not gonna lie, summing that feeling up as like, yeah, it's good. It's nice to like. It's one of these things where like you forget that you're sitting in front of your computer all the time. Making the thing. That you completely forget that people are listening to it on their commutes. You're on the train into work, and you're like, any one of these people could be listening to my show. Technically, theoretically, maybe.
People, and to get to chat with so many interesting people making sound, but it felt weird to be winning an award for sound design. At a time when increasingly it's being seen by commissioners.
God, you could tell I was tired. Look at these poses. You could pack a bus in these poses.
Seen by commissioners and production companies as like a luxury or some sort of risk. And like just today there was the news that Shortcuts is ending.
That's a separate section, I think. I need to figure this out.
I'm having trouble sleeping. I spent the evening at the 2024 Audio Production Awards. It was a really good night. It was really wonderful to see so many really cool people and to get to chat with so many interesting people making sound. But it felt weird.
Okay, let's. I have Camlin on my iPod Classic. Oh, that makes me. People listening to stuff on iPods makes me real happy. Just especially because I feel like, right. So, thank you for the hydrate or dihydrate, Sazaraz. So here's the thing. Listening to a podcast on a streaming app. Great, beautiful, fantastic, thank you. But for an iPod, you've had to download the episode. You've had to put it onto your iPod, and depending on how much iPod you've got, you don't know. There's a limited amount of space on there. I'm finding that with my iPod, I'm having to be really diligent about what goes on there and what comes off. So it's an extra couple of steps. So for people to do that, it's a really cool thing, and I that makes me really happy. Save check, thank you. If you've been co-working, now's the time to make sure that you've not lost any work that you've been making for the past 2 hours. And a jelly bean break, thank you very much. So about storage, if it's an iPod Classic, you're never going to run out of storage. Are you working off of OG storage or like updated storage? I have no idea. You've just got the iPod and plugged in. I've not done anything to it. If there's a way to jailbreak an iPod, that's very exciting. I love jailbreaking stuff.
Okay,
there are many.
It is the 20th at the...
Right, while I'm chewing this, we can listen to what we got.
Okay, it is the 20th of November. It is about 1 o'clock in the morning. So I think technically it's the 21st. I'm in a hotel in London. I'm in the Elephant and Castle Travel Lodge. And the room I'm in is right outside the massive Travel Lodge sign, which is shining through one of the windows. Also, there's a weird humming noise, which you probably can't hear. But it sounds like frogs. It sounds like...
I've got an idea, I think.
Like kind of frog chorus, almost.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a good year.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
2024 was a weird year.
Somebody came up to me and they said, "How are you so productive? You always seem to be making stuff." I didn't really know how to answer at the time, but I think the honest answer is fear.
2024 was a bad year.
Wait. Which was it?
I'm having trouble sleeping. I spent the evening at the 2024 Audio Production Awards. It was a really good night. It was really wonderful to see so many really cool people and to get to chat with so many interesting people making sound.
Okay, so we're going to do a thing. We're going to do a thing.
2024 was a good year.
Right, come with me on this. What do I need to do? Reverb track. That's what we want.
2024.
Oh, not that. Good grief. Okay.
2024 was a good year.
Yeah, no, it's maybe a bit too loud with the reverb.
2024 was a good year.
Okay, and then we're going to pan that. Where are we going to pan that to? We're going to pan that over here. I'm going to do a thing, reverbs into the next dimension, which is real. Slightly too, it was too powerful.
Audio Production Awards.
2024 was a good year.
It was a really good night. It was really wonderful to see so many really cool people.
A good year.
It was a really good night. It was really wonderful to see so many really cool people and to get to chat with so many interesting people making sound.
Real now this is podcasting explosion energy. That does, you know, that I do. It's only when I actually, you know, watch clips of the streams that I realize just how chaotic my production process is.
2024 Audio Production Awards.
2024 was a good year.
It was a really good night. It was really wonderful to see so many really cool people and to get to chat with so many interesting people making sound.
I think we can do something fun here. I think we might need to do a bit of chopping.
And I got silver, which is great. I'm the best sound design producer.
Let's move you over here.
Sound.
2024 was a weird year.
Best sound. I was nominated for making sound.
2024 was a weird year.
I was nominated for best sound design.
So we're going to do a thing, I'm going to pan. I'm going to make this go this way this time. Is that 30? Oh, 50. Oh my god, okay.
Making sound.
2024 was a weird year.
I was nominated for...
I'm off to sleep. Have a lovely day, evening, night all. Thanks for a lush stream as always. You're very welcome, Meadowsweet. Good night.
Sound.
2024 was a weird year.
I was nominated for best sound design producer, and I got silver. Sound design producer, and I got silver, which is great. I'm the second best sound designer in the country. The best sound designer in the country lives in Canada. But it felt weird. Sound.
2024 was a weird year.
I was nominated for best.
So I'm going to redo this bit of audio here because that's I think I'm scratching or something there. So just
2024 was a weird year.
I was nominated for best.
Let's just use the big clip there just to fill in that wild track bit. There we go.
Sound.
2024 was a weird year.
I was nominated for best sound design producer, and I got silver, which is great. I'm the second best sound designer in the country. The best sound designer in the country lives in Canada. In the country. The best sound designer in the country lives in Canada.
And then I think this is going to be our repeating motif. Is good, weird, bad.
2024 was a bad year.
But it felt weird.
Long John Silver.
To be winning an award for sound design at a time when increasingly it's being seen by commissioners and production companies as like a luxury or some sort of risk.
Okay. I think we can maybe go from there into like a second bit because I don't want to use all of this because I don't think it's useful and it's a bit kind of navel gazing, and I think there's we can move into something that's just sounds slightly more interesting, or like I like the idea of maybe kind of moving from that into a slightly more kind of rapid fire sort of section. Because also as well, this is very work chat, and I kind of think there's more interesting things to talk about. So I kind of like the idea of moving away from that slightly as well. Because there are other things to talk about that is not work. Oh, I listened to a Scottish podcast again this weekend, and I knew who Amber was when I heard them this time. Oh man, that was so long ago. I think I'm in there like 2 or 3 different times. They were the first podcast that kind of gave me, other than my own show that I did voices for. It's delightful that people are still listening to it. That makes me very happy. But yeah, I think we maybe bring the synth back in, or maybe I think what we need next time, what we'll be doing next time on Wednesday, is I think I'll be probably making a piece of music to kind of go into this, to end this sort of section, and then have a bit more of a sort of spoken word section. I think more of a sort of written, authored script bit, and then go back into. So, like, I think, we're doing everything in 3s because I've been working with Ella for too long. We've got the first section, which is this voice note. And we've also got the waterfall that kind of sets out the ideas of the piece. And then we maybe move into the sort of middle section, which is the sort of spoken word, like clean audio with... music and very like heavily sound designed, and then we'll have this third section which kind of combines the two. I believe that's the structure of a sonnet as well. So, we'll call it an audio a radio sonnet. There you go. If you want to, not a sonnet, a sonata. Sorry, not a sonnet. Good grief, a sonata. Where you've got one piece in one key, second piece in another key, and then the third piece combines all 3 of them, combines the 3 of them together. So that's going to be the structure, I think. I'm saying this now so I remember for Wednesday. There's a Queen reference in there somewhere. Really? Oh, radio. I suppose so. Sounds like the best Depeche Mode album never made. So I think that's the plan. I think that's how I'm going to do it. I will try and scribble something down for Wednesday so we're not starting from completely nothing. Because I think I much prefer doing this. I may even take the audio from this stream and chop it up and throw it into the piece as well. Really fold everything in on itself. But yeah, so like I'm kind of... Clips, yeah, exactly. I can take the clips. I can go through and make highlights and things. Make it meta. Yeah, absolutely. Like that's very much the plan. Like, actually, you know what? Let's go full meta here. Okay, so this is a piece about reflecting on the year that's happened. Good, bad, good, weird, and bad. If you have something you would like added to the piece, if you have a reflection you would like added to the piece, or you want to kind of add your thoughts, why not send me a voice note. Record it on your phone. Doesn't need to be professionally recorded. It can be on your phone. It can be it can be on your phone, it can be through a microphone, it can be on a dictaphone, it can be on anything you like. It can be on a cassette tape. Don't send me cassette tapes, but you can record it onto a cassette tape and then record that onto your computer. And then send it to me. Send it to me on Discord if you have me on Discord. Send it to me tincanaudio.co.uk/contact. It's the best way to send me things. And then on Wednesday I'll do what I did with Franamnesis. I'll set up a Dropbox link where you can dump audio in if you want to submit. So if you want to be a part of this piece, this is an open invitation to be a part of it. if you want to kind of be a part of this sort of New Year's reflection, because I think that would be really cool, and I really love doing that for Anamnesis, and yeah, I think it'd be a cool thing. So if you are interested in that, get on it and send it to me. I think just I'll leave it open. Like it doesn't have to be now. I think that as long as I've got the piece ready, I'll probably try and finalize this piece on Wednesday next week. So next Wednesday, so you've got a week to think about it. And then I'll put together a little collage at the end of this of all of any of the voice notes I get. So yeah, send me things. Send me your thoughts on the year, and they'll get added to a piece that'll get released sometime next year. Okay, I think that's our show for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm very aware this is a very weird pitch. Feeling I'm just gonna make some weird audio stuff, but I'm kind of, and also like not diving into a piece without a compass can be slightly strange. I imagine it must be a slightly strange thing to watch, especially when it's kind of when things aren't necessarily working or going down a particular alleyway. But thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for watching. We'll be back on Wednesday. I'll be making more of this. I'll be kind of adding more stuff to it, putting the second section together. Yeah, and then that's going to be the rest of the month. So I think I'll be doing streams. Let's look at the calendar. I'll be doing streams this week. I'll be doing streams next week. I'll put the 23rd down as a maybe because we're still figuring out our Christmas plans. But yeah, so there's at least another week's worth of streams for you coming up. Thank you, Sassy. That's very kind of you. I'm glad that it's been wonderful this year because I feel like my audience has grown. I calling it an audience is very weird. I feel like I've had more regulars. That's probably a better way for me to think about it. It's a better way for me to talk about it. I feel like the number of people showing up every week has gotten bigger and more dependable, which is great. That's kind of what you want. And a large part of that has been Camlin, and that's been a delight. And some of it's through ADDQ, which has also been a delight. And yeah, it's nice to have. It's nice to start the stream every week and see the numbers go up, and even when they don't go up, just seeing a regular number of people and seeing the same names in chat every week is delightful. And yeah, I don't take it for granted. I know it's very easy to take it for granted, but yeah, I very much want to make it clear that I don't take it for granted, and I'm very glad that I get to do this. I'm very glad that I have this little space of the internet 2 nights a week where I get to kind of make stuff and kind of interact with people. Like it's really great. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I found you from one of Johnny's game streams and he mentioned Camlin, and then I just never left. But yeah, so we'll be back on Wednesday. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Monday, enjoy the rest of your week, and I will hopefully see you on Wednesday, but if not, take care and hopefully see you soon. Good night.